Let me request next is from Syngenta India. Yeah.
Thank you. So first of all, thank you very much for giving the opportunity, and thanks to Raghav and Dr. Bibek because they have set the context, so I can save some time, right? So what I'm going to talk about is the successful case studies or the work what we did as a private partner after collaborating with a public partner. So largely I'm going to cover about two projects. So one is of course the corn what Dr. Bibek was talking and Raghav was talking. And the second will be around the wheat. So hybrid wheat program what Syngenta has started in 2012 in India. And we have successfully got some of the varieties from that program with a collaboration with CIMIT. Okay, so before moving to the case study, let's give you a brief introduction what Syngenta is. So we are a global player. We are into crop protection business, seed business. So seed business for field crop and vegetable seed, and we are into flower business. So we have a presence across more than 100 countries in globe, and we have an employee strength of more than 53,000. Now coming to the backbone, I mean, why I am touching this because this is something is like the seed which has led to the collaboration or the success what I'm going to talk about for Syngenta in terms of whether it's a collaboration with different public company or with a private company. So the backbone or our core which is like helping us to achieve our vision of bringing plant potential to life. So first is the determined execution, right? So whenever we decide something, so we are like bound to take it to the objective what we set in terms of bringing the plant potential to life. But then how does it get converted into execution or result? With the objective or the vision for growth for all. So it's not Syngenta, it's not we who wants to grow. So we want to grow together. We want to grow with our public partner, we want to grow with our farmer, which is our core, and then that comes from the passion of customer, right? So finally why it comes, because the customer, the farmer for whom we are working, the passion what we are carrying for them is finally resulting into all that. But then when I talk about execution, I talked about passion, I talked about growth for all. But then from where all these things are coming is the long vision what we have. So whenever we come into a partnership, whenever we design a project or get into a project or a scale, we always think that what is that, how is it going to help the critical stakeholder with whom we are working, and finally how matters. So for us, I mean, it's not only in our vision, in our day-to-day work, what is that very critical for Syngenta globally is not result. It's like how are we going to achieve that result? Is it ticking all those stakeholders? Is it like addressing the need of the farmer? Is it helping us in terms of bringing that the best potential of the plant, right, to the farmer? So that's in brief about Syngenta. Now moving to the next slide, which is about the success what we got from the public-private partnership. So I'll not get into much of technical part because I got a support from Dr. Bibek and Raghav, wherein Raghav was talking about SFI. So CIMIT, Syngenta Foundation and Syngenta. So these are the three player or these are the three pillar who had made this collaboration successful when it comes to corn. But then what is that important in getting the success? So first was understanding or having a common objective and goal, right? So be it SFI, be it Syngenta or CIMIT or other public organization, what is that we are looking to address each in a long run. So when we are saying by 2050 the global population is going to reach, let's say, close to 9 billion, right? So that is the main goal which is finally driving into all the project what we are formulating or the collaboration what we are going to do. The second is finally enabling farmer to gain a greater access to the research what we are going to deliver. So it's not Syngenta what it is doing, it's not CIMIT or it's not SFI. Finally it's the common goal and then the objective of delivering that to the farmer. So specifically, if I talk about the triple A maize project, what Raghavendra was saying. So when we were designing that project, what is that we look at is what is that Indian farmer is looking at when it comes to corn, right? So if we talk about corn, wherein the yield is somewhere stagnant, be it tropical corn or subtropical corn, but then there are market wherein again, if we talk about the average yield of India, it's 3 ton per hectare, even less than that. And even there are market, if I talk about only the central part of India, wherein still more than 1 million hectare is having an average yield of 1.2 metric ton per hectare. Right. So that is somewhere we consider as one of the things, and then we look at the expertise what CIMIT has, the expertise what we have. So Syngenta India, we are like leading the tropical market, so we are leader in tropical corn. We look at CIMIT, who has the strength of delivering a drought tolerant germ plant, having a good pool, and then what Dr. Vivek was saying. So we have sat down together in 2012-13. We had a very detailed discussion. What is that? How can we collaborate? So we have some of the hybrid which is delivering or which has touched to a volume of 7,000 metric ton in rain-fed market. So when we were talking about this project, it was largely about rain-fed market. So we identified those lines from Syngenta India, and then we also talked with CIMIT, discussed for a long time, and then we came to a conclusion what is that can bring the best which will address finally the farmer need. So farmer need, what we were talking about, the affordability, we were talking about the accessibility. So accessibility, when it comes to accessibility or reach, SFI was there. So Syngenta and CIMIT were in a program to develop the hybrid, giving it to SFI to make it available to the farmer. So it was accessible, it should be accessible by creating that reach, it should be affordable. So for affordability, we created a three-way hybrid. So first hybrid what we have developed in 2017-18 with a male line from CIMIT, and then we had a three-way hybrid which is TA5084, and which has got a success. So Raghav was talking about that what we are talking in 2023 is that we are going to achieve close to 400 metric ton. And when I am talking about selling these 400 metric ton, it's not about the typical corn 1,20,000 metric ton market what we have. We are talking about going to the core market where there is a need of these hybrids, right? So we worked, so Raghav was talking that we have a very robust plan. So when we collaborate with the NGO, with a different private partner, we have a defined SOP that will only go to those markets where there is a need of these kind of hybrid. And as well as it was not that Syngenta is going to produce that hybrid. So we were training those NGO, we were training those private partners to also produce the seed with the help of SFI. So that was somewhere is the SOP. So how it all came by sharing the knowledge and working together. And finally, I talked about the delivery what we made in terms of delivering a hybrid TA5084, and then we have some of the hybrid which is in the pipeline, and we have also started exploring the northern part of India. So after central part of India, if you'll see the scope in terms of increasing the average yield of the farmer is UP. So if I go to UP, which is never get considered as a typical critical kharif market by a private player. So the reason is two. One, farmer don't consider corn as a primary crop in kharif. So for them, it's always a commercial crop what they see as a primary crop. So we are looking for that market, and then the second is the hilly terrain of Himachal, then going to Jharkhand, and then Chhattisgarh. So we have also collaborated now with SFI, taking the hybrid and trying to explore the newer geography, which will bring finally to achieving the vision what we have in the back end, which is like bringing the best out of the plant or plant potential into the soil. Now coming,
2 minutes.
yeah. So concluding with the last slide, that was the success. But then what is that we want to do going forward? What is the learning? How do we want to take this project? How do we want to take this collaboration forward? So first is improving the food security. Again, I'll take some of the example what Mr. Bijay was talking, right? That it's not that it's only 2 or 3 projects. I mean, there are many countries where we were talking about Bangladesh BT project, Philippines BT project, wherein they made it very easy and very rapid to get it access to the farmer, to get the best out of it. Or maybe the BT or the banana project in Uganda, which has drastically improved the diet health of the farmer, millions of farmer or millions of people. So there are opportunity wherein research partnership can lead to a food security solution. So that is one of the learning, and going forward we should continue partnering with public and private, and probably that is going to address finally the aim of feeding that 9 billion people by 2050 for globe. The second is gaining greater access to the resource. So that is where the SFI, Syngenta Foundation we have. So it's not about what we create, it's also about how are we making that available to the final end customer. Are we delivering that profit, or are we delivering that actual work what we are doing in the background, right? So that is where the NGO or SFI organization we have. Through this, we are trying to get that reach, getting that accessibility to the final farmer. The third is building that successful partnership. I mean, so it's not a limit, it's just a start. How are we going to scale that up to address the future need is going to be a very critical. And finally, the increasing importance of public and private partnership is going to increase every day, because it's not about today, it's about future. So that's in brief about the success story what we had in terms of having a collaboration with Syngenta as a private partner and CIMIT as a public partner. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mohanjai.